Hey there, Purple Team, back with another Bite-Sized VoD review. This time, I want to focus on something really specific, and that's the way we're using our sound barriers in Brawl. I've noticed that we've been using sound barriers a lot to initiate or in like the mid-fight to try to like keep our team alive in neutral situations. But one of the things that I've seen is, again, with the in neutral situations, isn't where you want to be leveraging your sound barrier for the maximum effectiveness. Now, I understand that, especially in a situation like this, right? Half the round has already gone. We need to get A. You were sitting on some ultimates. Specifically, we haven't used sound barrier yet, and you really don't want to just like be hanging on to it, and then the round ends, and you're like, well, I never used this, and I totally could have at one point. But especially in a disciplined team environment like this, you want to be using your sound. You don't just want to be using your sound barrier to use it, right? The other team is going to be throwing in stuff, and you're going to be wanting to use that. A very strong ultimate ability in order to negate their abilities and their ultimates, which means having a trigger for when to use sound barrier. Right now they have Primal Rage up, their Nano's not up, their Valk's not up. Nano and Valkyrie are both good things to use. If they use Valkyrie in conjunction with another ultimate, that's when I would use sound barrier to get the best value, because you can kind of just especially with this very fluid, very slidey team composition. If you can get to cover and just like kite it, that's probably a better value than using sound barrier. If they nano Winston, especially, or if they throw Bob in and you're like, okay, maybe the Bob is just going to get too much value based on where we are. Those are good opportunities to use it. Where we end up using it here is we're trying to get in here. Egg Tart gets picked off, unfortunately. Moose is low. Now we're down 3. Aroma gets picked off, and that's when we use our sound barrier. And we have 3 people alive. We have two healers and 1 tank. And let me go back. Let me just go back a second and just look at this and just go for like the really quick play-by-play, because it kind of looked like it was a defensive, like, save myself sound barrier, which is not how you want to use it. If you're caught out of position, if you're low health, you're probably just not in a great position, and it's going to be better to say, like, okay, you know what, I fucked up, we got to come back in with a team fight. It just, in a neutral situation like this, I want to view this really closely. Okay, you are F1. I'm gonna watch this at half speed just to see what the decision making was here. Okay. So you might have seen Aroma getting low and Moose getting low, but right now 3 people are dead, and that's when the button press gets hit. So having that, obviously you can't take it back once you've hit it, right? But having that presence of mind to be like, okay, what does that accomplish? And if you're like, well, it keeps us alive on point a little bit longer, then, well, I mean, it keeps you alive on point a little bit longer, but that just hurts you. You're not going to win this fight, and the longer it takes, the less time you have to reset and try again. So being aware of when to use sound barrier, when they throw in Bob, when they hit you with a nano primal Winston, when they Valkyrie in and try to throw a pulse bomb, something like that. Those have to be your triggers. Their ultimate abilities. You don't want to use your triggers against them using it. You don't want to use your ultimates because they use their abilities. Because if they throw in a dynamite and that gets you to use sound barrier, that's massive value from them. Dynamite takes them 10 seconds to get back. Sound barrier takes us 2 minutes, something like that, 90 seconds. Right. So negating their ultimates with sound barrier is how we need to be using sound barrier going forward.